Stage in the morning. Finally, we're here. I can take my mask off. You can, I'm sorry. It's easier to recognize me with the hat. It's harder for me to recognize you guys there with the mask, but pleasure having you all here. Thank you very much for coming. We are kind of returning to semi-normal, so that's very, very cool. And today we are in the startup stage. It's so weird to see it that it's not packed as every year, but we will get there. We will get there. So, how are you guys doing? Good? You don't look like good. You look like tired. Come on, it's just Tuesday. Okay, so first of all, what I want you guys to give, and I need your help for this, is I want to give the production teams a big applause because they haven't been working a lot this last year and a half, and they're finally getting back on their feet. So please, big applause for them, for everyone there at the backstage, for everyone that makes this happen, basically. So welcome to another year of South Summit 2021, post-pandemic, new normal. If the physical one was hard, the online was harder. So this year we decided that it's going to be hybrid. We're going to get the hardest thing to work. So to kick off, we are going to start with the startup competition, the energy and sustainability blocks. And without further ado, I want to introduce you, our first startup. Are you guys ready? Are the judges ready? How are my judges, by the way? I haven't asked you. Everyone fine? You don't know? Yes? Good? There we go. Come on. Applause for our judges, please. Come on. I always say this stuff. Our stage might be smaller than Arena, but our stage is always the best. You know that, right? This is because of you. You know that. Sure. Come on. I can keep doing this all morning. Okay. So let's start. So our first startup coming all the way from Spain. So we're staying here, but we're going to the north, to Donosti. I want to welcome our first startup that have been working on what we call digital twins through AI and drones to create models for energy production and useful lifetime. And to welcome our first startup of the morning, please, big applause for Oyer Penagaricano, CEO of Alerion. Big applause.
A few years ago, I was doing my PhD in space navigation for missions around asteroids. Later on, there was an opportunity through the European Space Agency to transfer that technology for high-performance drones. And that's how Alerion was born. So take wind energy. Wind energy is a viable alternative to fossil fuels. But one of the issues is that wind turbines lose 10% of their production due to unresolved maintenance issues. In 2019 alone, 8.5 billion euros of wind energy were not produced because of these issues. That's over 8 billion euros more of wind energy that should have been produced had the right tools been available. Now, while we can identify and quantify where we can quantify the energy losses, it is extremely difficult to identify where they're coming from. So what does Alerion do? We produce digital twins for predictive maintenance. Why do we do that? So wind farm owners and operators can produce more energy and lowers the maintenance cost, increasing the revenue line. And how do we do it? We combine our patented drone technology for up-close and really fast inspections, artificial intelligence that we developed in-house, and all the data coming from the wind turbine in order to pinpoint exactly where the energy losses are coming from and develop the right maintenance plans in order to increase energy production. So this is a growing market. We estimate that by 2030, it will be a 2.5 billion euro market. What makes us unique is our combination of patented drone technology, our own artificial intelligence, and very rare blade engineering models. All that for energy production. So at the moment, we are racing our A-Series. We have a proven track record with some of the industry's biggest players, and we're racing our A-Series to internationalize and scale our business. So our revenue line is twofold. On the one side, we have a drone as a service revenue model through inspections and analytics. And on the other side, we have the digital twin subscription model for optimizing energy production. Of course, this wouldn't be possible without our amazing team who carry most of the burden. And if you would like to help wind turbines produce more energy more efficiently, I'm all yours. Thank you.
Stay here with me.
Oh.
So let me look at you. It's awesome. You guys change so much without the mask.
From?
So anyway, so I didn't tell you the rules, but you all know the rules. You're all part of the family now. 3 minutes pitch, but now we're going to take questions. I need you to stay there so the cameras can actually catch you. Again, harder than last time, so we need to make sure that everyone online is looking at us. Come on, everyone, say hello to everyone online. Hello, people. I hope you're enjoying. We're having much more fun here than you are there. Anyhow, so our judges, I'm going to ask you that whoever is making the question, please stand up and tell your name on job description, so we all know it, because it's hard with the mask and all that jazz. So, are you ready?
Sure.
Judges, ready? Do we have any questions, please?
Nice presentation. Can you hear me well?
Sort of.
Because with this nice presentation, 2 questions in one. You have your own patented drone technology and software technology. What is your main competitive advantage to other similar solutions to yours, and what is the current stage of the technology?
Okay, so one advantage is our drones are able to get very up close and collect much more higher quality data. And also we have unique models of a wind turbine itself that is basically very rare outside of the manufacturers to get. And this allows us to calculate energy production loss very accurately, but also to understand how any maintenance, any corrections you do to the wind turbine affects the long-term health. So we're able to identify how actions will project into the future and know exactly or very accurately how much energy that wind turbine will produce over the lifetime and how much the maintenance is going to cost. So we're able to basically give a very detailed picture of the asset over 20 years that nobody else can. I don't know if that...
Okay, so we only have time for one question, so make sure it counts. Emilio, thank you very much. Good to see you, by the way. Well, with that, it's all. Oyer,
Sure.
thank you very much. Big applause, please.
Yeah, take it.
Come on, we're getting ready. You know, 2 years ago, we had some, it was a real ring. Well, this is still a real ring, but we had the ropes and stuff like that. But then we pushed people outside of the ropes. People got tangled. People got hurt. People were throwing chairs. And this year we said, no, something a little bit less dramatic. Anyhow, so let me introduce you our next startup that's coming all the way from the US. We are connecting with them via the internet. And I want to welcome our next startup that's basically using new technology for crop pollination using IoT and saving the bees. So please welcome our next speaker and startup all the way from the US, Omer Davidi, CEO of BeHero.
Whatever you ate today, or even your morning cup of coffee, it all relies on a tiny little insect, bees. Bees are responsible for pollinating billions of plants, including millions of agricultural crops. But unfortunately, the bees are dying. And this is not only an ecological disaster, it is a huge financial loss. Hi, my name is Omer, and I'm a CEO and co-founder of BeHero. We help farmers increase crop yields by optimizing pollination cycles while maintaining bees' welfare. We have all seen how the farming industry has been reshaped in the last 8 and 10 years, how data-driven decisions help farmers to increase the outputs on every single acre. For 75% of those crops, they depend on bees. And due to colony collapse disorder and the weakness of beehives out there, the process of pollination is done inefficiently. At BeeHero, we developed an IoT sensor, a low-cost unit that is being installed inside a bee colony. And by measuring different kinds of parameters, we can actually predict colony collapse. We can help beekeepers to maintain stronger and healthier hives and take care of their bees while improving pollination efficacy. We decided not only to focus on beekeepers and bees, we also focus on farmers. We've built a full pollination suite that allows farmers and beekeepers to benefit from the technology and improve their operations. The way we do it is by collaborating with large-scale commercial beekeepers, providing them boxes of units to install in their hives, and we work very closely with them to make sure that they optimize their operation, lower the mortality rate, and improve the quality of every single hive. Later on, we engage with farmers to assure them precision pollination as a service to achieve full pollination. We did not invent the fact that good pollination increases yields. This was done by smarter people than us for many, many years. We have focused on building a low cost and a scalable way of doing this in large scale. We are also working with non-profit organizations to track and monitor the largest network of monitored beehives worldwide and understand more about the spread of disease among bees, the different stressors that cause colony collapse disorder, and help wild pollinators as well in this fight. No matter what you like to eat or even drink, this will affect you, and together we can reverse the damage. Thank you.
Big applause, come on. We actually do have Omer online, so let's see if we can bring him up to take some questions. Omer, are you with us? Oh, there you are. Good, super early morning, I'm guessing. I hope you're on the East Coast.
1 a.m.
Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Judges, are you ready? Do we have any questions? And production team, do we have one of our judges is online also. So if we have questions online, please, production, let me know. If not, judges physically, do we have any questions for Omer? Come on. Really? You did a fantastic job, I think. Question, there you go. Unai, please.
Hi, thank you for taking my question. Great pitch, by the way. Great business. A quick question on the team. Can you give us a bit of an idea of how you started with this and the makeup of the team right now? Thanks.
Sure. So I'm coming from a deep technological background, actually from the cybersecurity space. But approximately 4.5 years ago, I met one of my co-founder who is a second-generation commercial beekeeper. His family owns the largest bee farm in Israel, and this is how I got to learn more about bees and pollination. And we teamed up, we collected some more great minds to build a company. A year and a half later, we moved to California, and now we are both based here. So he brings the knowledge of beekeeping and farming, and I bring the knowledge of technology.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we have any other quick question. No? Okay, then Omer, I'm gonna let you get back. Thank you so much, and congratulations, fantastic pitch, fantastic product. Do you like honey?
Thank you so much.
You like honey?
I have to.
Oh, okay. Yeah, strange people are around. My kids don't like honey. I don't know how that is even possible, but anyway, Omer, thank you very much. Big applause for Omer, thank you. Okay, so we're moving also with our next pitch, also online. This time we're flying through the intertubes when it's not down. And we're going to connect with Canada and to talk about our next startup, which converts CO2 emissions into nanomaterial powders that can then be reused in other materials like plastics, like cement and stuff like that, while reducing its greenhouse emissions. And to talk about that, I want to welcome our next speaker from Canada, Carbon Upcycling Technologies, Nathalie Giglio, Business and Operations Associate. Nathalie, floor is yours.
Hi, my name is Natalie Gilio, and I'm pitching on behalf of Carbon Upcycling Technologies, where we take the waste of today to build a better tomorrow, which means we take CO2 emissions that would have otherwise gone into the atmosphere and capture them into concrete additives that are used to make stronger and lower carbon concrete. So the problem that cement and concrete producers face is the process in which it takes to make cement and produce concrete equates to about 7% of annual emissions, which is a large problem, which is why they are trying to solve this massive issue. They're looking at potential solutions like CCUS technologies, alternative cements, or even alternative heat sources. But those are all energy intensive and require massive infrastructure investment. But what carbon upcycling can do is provide a proprietary CO2 enhanced concrete additive that can be used in both blended cements and into concrete to lower the carbon footprint. Carbon upcycling solution creates lower carbon concrete that is stronger, uses less cement, and can remain cost neutral in most cases. So we're making greener, stronger, and more durable concrete to build the future. Our technology works by using two feedstocks. We take a waste powder feedstock, whether that's a traditional SCM or other waste byproducts. We add those into our reactor, pressurize it with CO2, and effectively we create a pressurized catalytic ball mill. That when the batch process is done, we get those CO2 enhanced concrete additives that are ready to be deployed in the concrete, precast, or in the blended cement industry. The global target market that we're going after is massive. It's a 51 billion total addressable market across the world. We all use concrete, we all use cement. So let's find a way to make it greener and stronger. So we're targeting those markets in two ways. Our first go-to-market strategy is through licensing the technology directly to concrete and cement producers so they can produce it right in their supply chain. The second go-to-market strategy is producing, owning, and operating our own facility where we unlock a feedstock and provide it directly to the market. We use 3 phases of engagement. We start off with a material evaluation where we evaluate a sample. From there, we look at project scopes. We identify a location that is going to be best suited to have this technology deployed. And then once we've validated that at a financial level, we move to the commercial engagement where we actually start building the facility. Our team of 6 has accomplished all of what I've explained already in this presentation, and we've been backed by 2 commercial partners, Lafarge and Cemex, who are both in MOUs with us currently. And we also are supported by a whole host of advisors who are making our future possible. At Carbon Upcycling, we want to launch the carbon age. And if you've been inspired or taken interest in low carbon concrete, please reach out and we'd be happy to further move along this conversation. Thank you.
Hey, big applause for Natalie. Actually, just as a trivia comment, carbon upcycling has actually been coming several times now to the summit. So I think this is like the 3rd year in a row, something like that. So Natalie, do we have you online? This is like medium stuff. Natalie, speak to us. Are you connected? Maybe yes, maybe not. There you are.
Okay.
Hello, Natalie. Thank you very much for being connected. Okay, so judges, questions. Do we have any question for Natalie, please? You guys are awfully silent today for judges. Do we have any questions from the judges online production? Yes, no, no? Questions. Please stand up, state your name so we all know it.
Marco Sosa, yeah. Sacir, well, thank you for the presentation, very impressive. And I would like to know how close is for production, the thing that you are so to us.
Yeah, I think if I understand your question correctly, right now our operation facility is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada, so on the west coast of Canada. We have partnered with Cemex, which has the Ventures team over there in Spain, who we've been in conversation with for the last 2 years. So Spain is definitely a market that we're chasing after quite quickly. Our next expansion over the next 1 to 2 years will be in the west coast of the US and in Canada, and then quickly going into Europe. So we're working closely with Cemex, working closely with Lafarge to make this global expansion happen.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, judges. And yeah, I was just telling them, I think it's the third year in a row that you guys are attending South Summit, so clearly Spain is a priority. So thank you very much. How cold is it over there?
Actually, we've had the most beautiful fall, but in the deep darkness of winter, we'll get down to about minus 30 Celsius. It's very cold.
No wonder you want to come here.
Exactly.
Thank you very much, Natalie. Thank you very much for your time and being connected. Big applause for Natalie, Carbon Upcycling. And we are flying back home. We're flying to Valencia, and we're going to have a startup that I think it kind of mixes two very hyped words. First one is ambitious carbon offsetting. That's pretty hyped topic right now. And you have to guess the next one. Who can guess what's the next one? Anyone? No guesses? Technology, very hyped, very volatile market. Anyone? Blockchain, there you go. Prize goes for Emilio. There we go. So all the way from Valencia to help companies fulfill their ambitious carbon offsetting commitments using blockchain technology, please welcome our next speaker. Big applause for Francisco Benedito, CEO and co-founder of Climate Trade.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Francisco Benedito. I'm the CEO of Climate Trade. Well, in 2018, the company, and if now, hold on, I don't know why. Sorry for that. Well, we have to believe that in 2018, when we started the company, we thought that technology could be applied to climate change and also could be a solution for sure, no? In 2019, we emitted 50.8 billion tons of CO2 to the atmosphere. One of the solutions for the climate change is decarbonizing, between others, but one of them is decarbonizing. We have to decarbonize the world. And how that has to be done? Paris Agreement in 2018 established that the governments have to achieve net zero by 2050. What that means is that it's going to come in cascade toward companies. So obviously, companies have to report today. If you are more than 250 employees, you have to report sustainability every year, the non-financial reporting, and you have to say how many emissions you are doing, and therefore you will have to do something to reduce that emissions. What we do in Climate Trade is we help that companies to achieve carbon neutrality through the carbon markets. The carbon markets were created back in 1997, but the Paris Agreement bring them again to the table. No? So basically, Climate Trade helps in the voluntary and in the mandatory market. It's the first company in the world that it is connected digitally to the mandatory market just recently, and from the voluntary since 2017. In 2018, we received the prize of the UN as the best solution in the world for the carbon markets. And today, recently, we received 4 months ago the UNWTO, the organization for the travel industry from the UN, the prize as the best solution in the world for the travel industry. Our API was created in 2018 as an evolution of our marketplace, so every company could offer products and services carbon neutral. This is very important because the companies in the world are going to, and you will see it very soon, is called carbon labeling. Everything is going to be carbon labeled. Every product that you buy is going to have a CO2 tag. And we need to decarbonize that also. So how do you do it? You do it in origin, or you do it in destination. Basically, we have the first API in the world that allows to trace that with blockchain and to decarbonize in destination. So imagine today we do with Telefonica in 2.com, we sell phones carbon neutral. We sell flights carbon neutral with Iberia since 2018. Then afterward, we established with Meliá Hotels International. We use loyalty points also to compensate the carbon emissions. And basically today is a market that is going to go more than 100 billion from the voluntary and more than 60 billion for 2030 for the mandatory. So this is one certificate that one of our users can receive, our end user. So basically that's traced on blockchain. We use the less polluting blockchain in the world because it's not, if you use blockchain, you cannot contaminate, obviously. So, and then finally, we can do it also in micro-offsetting in retail stores. So we are working with one of the biggest retail stores in the world to do this also. And finally, regarding the blockchain, as I was saying, we reduce cost in every transaction, and at the same time, we also speed transactions. We provide speed transactions. Thank you so much.
There we go. Thank you very much. Big applause to Fran.
Thank you.
I have to be the evil guy that has to come and tell you you're out of
No, it's
time.
okay.
Do we have any questions? Please stand back so we can catch you correctly. Do we have any questions, judges? Come on. Blockchain. There we go. Go ahead, please. Stand up. State your name, your charge.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the presentation. This is Ivan Feito from Axon Partners Group. My question is a little bit, if you could let us know a little bit about the team and who is behind the project.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thanks. We started the company because I was a banker. I was 15 years banker, so I was in the financial industry. And then one person that created one unicorn in Valencia introduced us to my partner, Jose. We was coming for 15 years in the UN also. So I was tech and business, he was climate. And then we put together that and two other partners that one of them was working with me in the bank. So at that same time, my baby was coming and his baby was coming also. So it was like putting the dots together, no? So at that point, we thought that technology could help save climate and climate change, and we are doing that. At the same time, today we are already 20 people working in the company. We just closed a Series A round, and we are growing now the team in different countries, more than 7 countries.
There we go. Booyah. How does it feel wearing T-shirts instead of suits?
Much better.
Better.
Man, a lot of
I can see you smiling
suits.
now.
Eh?
You're smiling
a lot of
now.
dust in the suits now. So.
Well, first of all, thank you, Fran, very much. Just
Thank
to
you.
give you some context, they changed the presentation, so this was an old presentation, and he's been defending it there. So thank you very much for your
Thank you
effort.
so much.
And please give Fran a very big applause. Thank you very much for being here
Thank
in
you.
person. Thank you. And you know, when you see these things about going to Mars and all this new lunar-based mission and all these technologies that get developed, and I always think about something, which is, well, I always think about two things. First of all, how can we not have meeting software that actually works, and when you connect a lot of people and it doesn't crashes? Now we're getting there finally, after I don't know how many years. But the second one is, can we generate electricity like with our bodies, with materials, with stuff like that? And it's always this thing, it's like there has to be a technology that allows you to garner certain environmental energy, and there's obviously technology. And precisely to talk about that, we're flying this time also in virtual all the way to France. And I want to invite the next speaker and the next startup, which makes electricity using papers and enzymes. So to talk about that, we have the scientist. So please welcome our next speaker, all the way from France, Marie Bertuel, Senior Scientist and Communication Manager at BFC. Come on!
Hi everyone, my name is Marie Bertuel. I'm a doctor in electrochemistry and senior scientist at BFC. At BFC, we make electricity using papers and enzymes. We have created a disruptive energy solution for low-power electronics that is sustainable. The problem now is that low-power electronics are powered by lithium coin or button cell batteries. And it's not just lithium. For all battery chemistries, an average of 97% from 15 billion primary batteries end up in landfill or are incinerated, which pollutes our planet. To address this environmental issue, BFC has created a power source, which is paper-based, so it can be flexible, ultra-thin, and lightweight. We only use biosource materials like enzymes and biofuels, like glucose and oxygen. The good thing with business that could work with us is that they reduce the cost of recycling and disposal. And also, in-house, we have designed and built a reusable electronic platform dedicated to our power source. Our product portfolio is as so, and the great thing with paper is that we can adjust the shape and size of our device and increase the power or the voltage if we put them in series. To protect our core technology against our competitor, we have a patent portfolio of 6 patents that are worldwide and ongoing research and development with 12 patents on the go. We have exciting opportunities in replacement of existing toxic batteries, but also in innovation for wearables, medical, IoT, and logistics. And the numbers are on growing. If we look at smart packaging and IoT and healthcare, the numbers combined can end up to $200 billion by 2027. Our competition are coin and button cell, flexible cell, but they don't address the environmental issue. Now, if we look at green energy, photovoltaic is main competitors, but only achieve high power density in direct sunlight. Thermal radio frequency and vibration are delivering often erratic power. Only BFC deliver on-demand power over 2 milliwatt per centimeter squared and stable voltage. And the use cases are ongoing. And with decrease in power, there are many more electronic components that arise. We also have a product development, which is to combine our paper-based bioenzymatic fuel cell and our electronic platform with strategic partners like ST and Pragmatic to build an eco-patch combining sensors, microcontrollers, and modules for communication. We have created our company in May 2020 and raised VC seed funding of 3 million euros. We are now in the industrialization phase and making revenue through joint development agreements with our clients. In 2022, we aim to raise Series A funding and expand internationally while duplicating our production line. Our team is composed of doctors, engineers, and tech entrepreneurs of very different backgrounds. We also have a CNRS team and a strong advisory board. And together, power the future with nature.
Oh, big applause for Marie. Let's see if we can get her on our screen. So, judges, start thinking about questions. We're gonna have questions this time. Okay, how is everyone going? All good over there? Yes? Come on, guys, come on. We need the energy. You know, this is a stage that we feed on energy. Marie, bonjour. Ça va?
Oui, ça va très bien, et vous?
Thank you very much for joining us today. It's a pleasure having you. And I'm going to give the space to our judges. Let's see if we have any questions. Whoa, that was fast tonight. Someone else wants to talk that hasn't talked? You talked too, but he was first. But no, up to you guys. You choose. Oh, now you guys are fighting, really. Stand up, please.
Thank you so much for the presentation. And, my name is Emilio Martinez from Enagas Emprende, the corporate venture of Enagas. One quick question. What has been the early adopters of your technology related to energy and health? I'm sure that the regulations, some legal framework may arise some doubts. What is the first opinion of the potential customers? Thank you so much for the presentation. Very interesting project.
Thank you. So for the moment, we have secured clients in the packaging and logistics, as well as in the medical field. And our product is not on the market at the moment. So we have the feedback from the businesses that work with us, if that can help replying to the question.
Yeah, good, right?
Sorry, I don't have
Do we have any? Unai, you want to jump in very quickly? Okay, let's do two now.
Hi, thank you for the great pitch. A quick question on the production. How are you planning to bring the product to the market, given that there's a lot of technology involved? Scale is obviously important, and this is obviously a challenge always for companies starting up.
Thank you for the question. So we are in the industrialization phase for this year. So we are beginning our second year. And our goal is to be in mass production by the end of 2022, ready to be on the market by 2023. So we aim to go from like 1,000 units per day to millions of units per day, going from a sheet-to-sheet assembly to a roll-to-roll production line. And as you mentioned, there's a lot of technology involved. So this is why we have until the end of 2022 to make sure we have a good product with good quality at the end of the production line. Thank you for your question.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, this is what normally happens with deep technology. Like, it takes time. I always talk with investors and go like, yeah, advanced materials, we just keep hearing about it, but it just takes so long. It's like, yeah, science does. It's what happens. But I'm just curious, just to say goodbye before you disconnect. Senior scientist and communication manager, that has to be some kind of oxymoron kind of thing. Like, that's weird, that's strange. How can you manage those things?
Well, thank you. I actually joined BFC in the last year, and I began as a communication manager. And then when I finished my thesis, I joined as what I was supposed to be at the beginning, senior scientist. So this is why it's a little bit mixed. But since we are telling our story since we made the company, we chose to continue on that progression. But soon I will have to switch role.
Nice. Well, Marie, thank you very much. Merci beaucoup. And it's a pleasure having you. Big applause for Marie and BFC. Thank you very much. Okay, and we're flying this time to Germany, Deutschland. And I want to welcome our next speaker, that they have a startup that's very, very useful. And finally, we are getting some machine learning and artificial intelligence solutions for the management of energy and the energy grid and all that stuff. I work with a lot of companies, and I always think, every time I go to a company, it's like, they have to have some really advanced systems here. And then you see things that are taped to the back of a rack or magnets all around the place. And there's always someone with a notepad and a pencil. It always shocks me. It's like, how can you manage this way? Well, to change that, especially in the energy space, I want to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Thomas Goethe, CEO of Green Pocket.
So hey, that's Thomas. I'm the CEO of Green Pocket, a Cologne-based software vendor that delivers energy intelligence from smart meters to fight the climate change. This is the main crisis of today, and the main medicine for this is carbon dioxide reduction. But if you look at the carbon footprint, there's no reduction without transparency. So you have to measure your problem, and therefore you need a software tool that can deliver to this task. And we see significant growth drivers that brings corporates to work with those kind of energy management tools. It's the legal impact, it's the ESG, BlackRock supporting the financial community to set standards, and it's greater, the social pressure of the public that brings corporates to an ethical behavior. We believe that we have the right tool for these corporate customers to globally reduce the carbon dioxide footprint. We have a flexible, scalable, and one-size-fits-all tool that delivers all the management stuff to reduce the complexity, because carbon dioxide emissions are based on various factors, and it's a global problem. Our USP is that we comprehensively bring in all kinds of time series-based sensor data with a great set of analytic tools, internationally scalable, and it includes the energy domain knowledge that really delivers insights, and supported by AI-based optimization tools. So Green Pocket, the perfect product market fit for this problem, based on the experience of 12 years of development time, 150 successful projects for 90 customers in 12 countries, international experience with mature products, and supported by AI tools like anomaly detection, load profile analytics, baseline generator. So currently 2,400 corporates are using our software, mainly driven by utilities that give those services to their corporates. We have a very strong leadership team and 40 team members supporting our mission. Half of them are developers, brainies, nerds, IoT managers, and data scientists. So our business model starts from IoT data we gather to energy intelligence by the growing database, proving to the growing knowledge, and then end up in a growing value by the identification of the DNA of energy efficiency. So we bring a growing impact to our clients by automatic CO2 savings potential, measurement proposal tools, and learning from best practices. So please join us in the fight against climate change. We are keen to get in touch with corporate clients, with utilities, with IoT platforms as partners, And furthermore, we love to talk to investors. So just drop a line. Thank you very much.
Very good. Let's see if we can connect with Thomas. So judges start thinking on the questions. Thomas, are you here? Manifest yourself, please. Or maybe not. There we go. Things about technology. Hey, Thomas, wie geht's? Guten
Hello,
Tag.
excellent. Greetings from Germany.
Well, a little bit.
From the very cold Lower Saxony. Sorry.
Well, you should have been here. It's not that cold here.
Yes,
Okay.
right.
So ready for the questions, Thomas?
Absolutely.
Genau. We have the first question over here. Please stand up, state your name so they know who you are and they can see you.
Hello. Thanks very much, Thomas, for the presentation. Silvia Mendez from Enel. My question is related to the competition, right? Because there are many competitors in this field. However, your market traction, I think, is awesome. So what's your main differentiation factor related to them? Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Silvia. So I think the main differentiation factor is that we have really a Swiss knife built up in the last 10, 12 years with so much flexibility for the corporates that they really can use it, either industrial customers or municipalities or real estate property managers or retail bundle customers. I think that is the main differentiation.
I love it when I think we had one over there. You had a question, right? I love it when people say like, yeah, how are you getting that traction? It's like, we've been doing this 12 years. Mic drop. Boom. We had a question over there. You wanted to add a question? Very quickly.
Question.
Next time?
Same question. That
oh, same question. Okay. Emilio, you want to ask a question? No? Yes, quickly. Emilio.
Hi, Thomas. Thank you so much for your presentation. Emilio Martinez from Enagas Emprende, the corporate venture of Enagas. Very quick question. So I suppose your technology is in a commercial stage, and now you need to grow with more customers. What is the common process of finding and starting working with a corporate and your customer? How do you work to grow your software with more customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So we learned to work with utilities, and they're going to serve their corporate customers. But more and more, we are ready with the maturity of our product to address directly corporate customers. And we got the contact to those via inbound. That is number one. So we got a lot of questions right now during the last 12 months from corporate customers that approached us. And then the second way of getting in touch with corporate customers via multiplicators. These are partners. This could be IoT platforms as a data lake where we get connected via an API, or sensor device vendors or meter operators.
Okay, I think.
Thank you.
I think Emilio was asking for himself. You should ping him. Like he's trying to tell you something
Definitely,
there.
Yes.
Well,
happy.
our time is up. Dankeschön, Thomas. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much for connecting, and have a very good day. Auf Wiedersehen, my friend. Thank you very much. Big applause for Thomas. Come on.
Adios. Adios.
Okay, so we're flying to Sweden, but we are doing it physically this time. And to talk about maybe one of the hardest things to do, which is, you know, we can deploy technology, we can make changes on the grid, we can get more efficient energy, but there's always a little weak link on this whole proposition, which is called the human. So how do we change the human? How do we engage with the human? How do we create rich experiences that allow us to change our behaviors? Well, to talk about that, I want to welcome a very Swedish name, by the way, all the way from Sweden, as I said, the Business Development Manager, Paolo Gallo from LEQ. Paolo.
Hi, everyone. So
Hi everyone, my name is Paolo Gallo, I'm a business development manager of Leak. We are a SaaS company based in Gothenburg, Sweden, and we help utilities to 10x their customer engagement by earning a spot on their customer mobile devices and interacting with them on a daily basis. Sorry. So we are going through a tremendous energy transition, and we are applying microgeneration to the grid, and we are electrifying transportation, we are electrifying heating, and we are seeing providers reinventing their business almost every day very dynamically, and we are seeing them also developing a large number of propositions to their customer. But there is a huge disconnect because customers still do not see them as a trusted energy provider or a partner in fighting climate change, for example. So they rather see them as the bringer of the energy bill. So what is the solution? We developed a platform that helps energy companies to become trusted advisor for their customer, and through our AI-backed platform, they can build digital solution that change all their customer relationship. So customers can understand the way they use energy, be alerted when there's something wrong, be inspired, and take action through personalized advices, and also develop trust in his energy provider. So they can also subscribe to EV, PV, and flexible tariff, for example. So we are seeing them radically changing their behaviors, start making saving, and coming back on the platform for energy-related purchases. So we are reaching more than 30% of their customer total base. We see a 10x uplift in their customer engagement, and also 30% in customer loyalty. How does it work? We plug into the utility IT infrastructure. We get data from a smart meter. We get data from weather forecast. We crunch all these numbers together, and through our AI-backed platform, we deliver actionable insights, or through white label, and we brand it for the utilities, or we provide them with the API and SDK module for them to build amazing digital products on top of it. So we are serving right now 20 utilities prevalently across Europe, tier 1, but also fast new growing challengers. And we are a team of 45 people. We doubled last year on the back of our Series A funding. And we all come from fintech, analytics, and energy space. So thanks, everybody. And let's contribute to the clean transition of energy by changing the way we interact with it in our everyday life.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, Paolo. Questions? Judges? Do we have any questions? Now we have it over there.
Thank you for the presentation. This is Alberto from Elewit, the innovation platform of Red Eléctrica. I have one question related to the incentives that you create for your customers from the engagement of these customers. What are the main actions and recommendations that you do for the customers?
You mean from the provider to the end user?
Yes, for customer engagement.
Yeah, sure. Well, to start, there's a profiling activity. We ask to the customer to fill in at the beginning of their registration so that we can identify the profile of the customer. And then we can send personalized advices. And these are elaborated through through the data we collect from the customer, from the end user itself. And then all the AI elaboration we do on the platform, and also on a direct feedback from them. So we can deliver them insights and personal advices on how to use energy and intelligent appliance, for example, so on how to reduce their consumption, and also the way they are affecting all the environment. So it could be like a disaggregation of energy to understand if they are wasting more energy on some appliances at home, or could be like a personal target they can set up at the beginning of the month and try to like not, overpass this limit. So this is an example of advices, personal advices we can deliver to them.
Okay, well, Paolo, thank you very much. Thank you very much, judges, for the questions. Sadly, my Swedish is not there, so grazie mille. Big applause to Paolo. Thank you very much for your time here. Okay, and this time we're going virtual again. We're flying to Israel, in this case, to talk about how do you recover those unrecycling materials, those things when you throw things in a landfill, how do you, that stuff that's not being able to sort out and reuse, well, we do have a company that knows how to do that. So please welcome our next speaker, all the way from Israel, Liat Adad, VP of Marketing for UBQ Materials. Big applause.
Thank you so much, Alex, for having us. As many of you know, waste is one of the biggest challenges to civilization. Over 2 billion tons of municipal solid waste are produced annually, and over 90% of that waste is burned or openly dumped in low-income countries. Now, we know that this poses a lot of threats for wildlife, biodiversity, but on a climate change scale, what that means is over 5% of global greenhouse gas emissions are actually generated by the landfills around the world. What we see in landfills is a combination of all of our waste streams. It's organics like food waste, dirty paper and cardboard, garden trimmings, and unrecyclable plastic. Now, what we do at UBQ is we take all of this unsorted waste and convert it into a climate positive material called UBQ. A snapshot of what we do, here you can see that the municipal solid waste is then converted into UBQ material, and that UBQ material is a thermoplastic that can replace oil-based resins in thousands of different products. Here you can see just a tip of the iceberg of some of the products that already have been tried and tested and produced with UBQ materials. And again, this is something that's growing every day with our clients around the world. To get an idea of what this means in terms of impact, every ton of UBQ that replaces wood or oil-based resins is diverting 1.3 tons of landfill-directed waste and preventing 11.7 tons of CO2 equivalent. To give some perspective, that's the same amount of CO2 that is sequestered by 948 trees over the span of an entire year. Industry leaders are already choosing UBQ, such as Mercedes-Benz, McDonald's, Minetti, and others, because they're looking for materials that can help them offset their carbon footprint, divert waste, and advance a circular economy. As you can see here, UBQ is really creating an opportunity for the materials industry to make production and to make materials something that actually helps the environmental status of the world. We've been awarded across the board, both by B Corporation, who's named UBQ the best for the world and the environment, and Solar Impulse, who has called us one of 1,000 global solutions that is both economically and environmentally sustainable. We want to thank you again so much for your time. Please look into us as a way to create a world without waste.
Okay, thank you very much, Liat. Big applause. Okay, so while we connect with Liat, judges, anyone with a question? Do you have someone ready with a question? No? Okay, between you two guys, who's going? Hey, hello Liat, how are you doing? Thank you very much for joining us.
I'm so good, thank you guys for having me.
Well, we already have the question ready for you, so go ahead, please.
Hello, Marco Sosa de Sacir Green. And I would like to ask you, well, thank you for the presentation. And do you, when you use this process in the landfill, I guess that you have to make a sort of the different materials, because you are talking about your final product is a thermoplastic, but what happened with the rest of the materials? Thank you.
Okay, thanks so much for the question, Marcos. So that's actually the beauty of what we do at UBQ. We don't do any sorting. We take all of the household waste together and are creating a new bio-based thermoplastic. So what happens in the process is that we take the dirty diapers and the chicken peels together with the plastic. We break it down into its base natural components, lignin, cellulose, fibers, and sugars, and we create a matrix in which the mixed plastics are almost caramelized, and that new material is a thermoplastic, has thermoplastic properties. So it's able to replace things like polypropylene, polyethylene, and so forth in today's standard manufacturing processes.
That reminds me, it's like WALL-E. You guys, it's like the WALL-E ball. You get all the stuff and gets the thermoplastic out. That's amazing. Well, Liad, thank you very much. Judges, thank you very much. Big applause for Liad. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm impressed. This is the kind of stuff that I always think about. It's like there has to be a way to not have to sort it out and just like get everything together and then produce something out. Thankfully, we have people doing that. And our next speaker, we are going to Italy. However, we're doing it physically. And our next speaker was very anxious. Says, "Is it my turn? Is it my turn? Wait, is it my turn?" And this is the thing. When you start tackling things around sustainability, especially if you're a big organization, what ends up happening is you don't have the tools to manage all that sustainability efforts that you are doing in your corporation. And precisely to fix that, to give you tools to manage the whole sustainability value chain, I want to welcome our next speaker all the way from Italy, Fabrizio Fiocchi, CEO of SGO.
Hi. I do apologize, I dress like a finance guy, but I'm in transition. In 2019, I left the board of one of the largest asset management company in Europe to found and create SGO. I don't see the slide. Yeah, here. Because I was convinced there was a problem. Corporates were not able to manage non-financial data. So they have a problem. Most of the time, they're just reporting this data at the end of the year. They don't have any control on this data. They're not assigned goals to management, so they are not providing and improving impacts. So what we did was a platform to manage all this data, able to cover all the process of data collection, reporting, and management of this data from the beginning, from the data collection to the reporting, stakeholder engagement, supply chain, how to measure the impact of your suppliers. Everything is inside the platform. So the benefits for clients was to accelerate this process. In very few weeks, months, they were able to control this variable and make an active change in their process. What is the market? You know that nearly 12,000 corporates today in Europe are obliged to make the reporting. We become 50,000 with the new regulation, but this is nothing compared to the numbers of corporates that today are making disclosure on basically voluntary base. So there's increasing. Most of the times, these corporates doesn't have a solution, a unique platform where to manage this data. Who is the driver of this? Of course, they are pushing for digital governance, investors, C-level, because they have the responsibility of the data they are showing to the markets, and regulators and auditors. You know the story. Why we are different? We are not a small company. We are providing all the functionalities you need to make this journey. So we are providing services like rating agencies because we have the intelligence to make the scoring. We are not a large corporate providing platform, enterprise performance management based on financial data. we are approaching C-level most of the time. Sometimes information technology, but there must be innovation in a way. And we don't have a limit in sectors. We are covering all sectors. We have more than 50 clients, large multinational corporations. 8 of them are really huge groups. We have different sectors. Basically, our clients, most of the time, in their final reporting and disclosing that they are using SGEO to underline the importance of ESG corporate finance. Our revenue is coming from tool. We have an international group. They are supporting us all over the world, selling the solution. I don't know if I made a great presentation, but we made a great job, and I'm sure you will see our logo again.
Okay, Fabrizio. Grazie.
Thank you.
Big applause for Fabrizio. Please stand over there. Do we have any questions for Fabrizio? Questions, judges? There we go. Unai, please, very fast. We're running a little bit late on time, so I will ask you, please, fast question, fast answer.
Hi, Fabrizio. Unai Franco here from White Peak Partners. Thanks for the presentation. A quick question. You collect all the data, you process the data. Are you stepping into also recommending actions, remediation, how to improve metrics, budgeting, and so on? Thanks.
Yeah, nice question. Yeah, we are providing support even in the advisory, of course. It's a part of our business. But the tool is allow you to create budget process, is allowed to understand what you're doing compared to benchmark, to other sites. So we have a mean, average, standard deviation of all the KPIs of the markets. So you are able to understand your positioning and you improve yourself. So we try to provide technology to manage this data exactly like you do for financial data. The problem is that people are still using Excel, Word, and email to manage this data. Most of the time, they don't know where they are going to land at the end of the year. So we provide the technology to do this. We work with the Big Four. So most of the time, when they have to improve their numbers, they may ask to these guys. But we provide in technology. But this is the most important thing. The future is data. The future is to manage this data. It's not to receive advisory in a way. So you need to be able to process a large number of data. These data are much more complex than financial ones. There are a lot of unit of measures.
Fabrizio, the future is time or they're going to kill me.
Yeah, okay.
Did he answer? Yes? Big applause. Thank you very much, Fabrizio.
Thank you.
Grazie mille. Okay, and we're going virtual this way, all the way to Brazil, and let's see if I can actually pronounce the name of the startup. But as always happens when you have a very, very specific niche, they take time to digitalize. And this is a very interesting startup that is applying digitalization from this kind of vertical project management style, but in this case for fire management. And to talk about that, I want to welcome our next speaker, co-founder and CIO of Grau e Meio, Osmar Bambini. Big applause.
Hello, everyone. My name is Osmar Bambini, and I'm the Chief Innovability Officer at Grau e Meio. At Grau e Meio, we use intelligence applied to reduce wildfires. The urgency of a challenge is related to the intensity of wildfires in the last 2 years, the loss of biodiversity, and the toxic smoke of wildfires, aggravating respiratory health problems around the world, and the financial losses from forest fires that are 6 times more expensive than the cost of prevention. It also in Brazil, considering only the Amazon wildfires, the emissions are the highest considering all other sectors of the economy. Considering that fact, we developed Pantera, a fire management as a platform. Pantera uses the foundations of firefighting, which are prevention, preparation, early detection and fast response, operational and SDG impact indicators, using human tech with climate tech. This is the framework of our platform, which have the operational module with early detection using high resolution cameras, satellite detection, risk maps, scar maps, and a full operational modules, which you can rent in all separated and modular solutions. We also bring measuring the CO2 emissions avoided from wildfires by comparing and analyzing historical data with the operational results. Here in Brazil, We are in 11 states, in 6 biomes with 86 towers, monitoring 9 million hectares in companies from the private sector, from forestry, agriculture, mining, and also natural reserves such as Pantanal. Our revenue is growing, and 72% of our monthly recurrent revenue, it's 70% of our revenue. 28% is a setup costs, which are growing and growing every year. Now, just an overview of our business model. We got the setup and hardware and software costs. We rent the hardware as a service, the software as a service. We provide consultancy and impact reports, and also remote and local maintenance in 36 months contracts. We also support UNESCO and the UN Global Compact Brazil Network. We were certified as a CBI bond and by Bureau Veritas and work concerning the direct impacts of our SDG indicators. This is our team. This is the management team. We are in 32 people from a multi-functional team. This is our advisors, which we trust to help us in the areas that we want to evolve. Thank you very much.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, Osmar. And as far as I know, Osmar is lost in a forest somewhere in Brazil, so we're going to get his co-founder to answer the question. So, judges, do we have any questions? Anyone ready with a question? Over there. Okay, perfect. So I want to welcome the general manager and co-founder of the company, Amy Arikawa. Amy, are you with us? There we go. Hello,
Hi.
Sir. Bon dia.
Hi, it's me. Yeah, bon dia, good morning. All right, I'm traveling tomorrow, so I was able to be here today with you and also Amy, but I was lucky to come.
Yeah, they told me you're gonna get lost in the forest, so that's good.
Yes, tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm traveling to Pantanal.
Okay,
And,
perfect. So we have the question ready. Please state your name so Osmar knows who you are.
Thank you, Osmar, for the presentation. My name is Alberto Escalera from Elewit, the Red Eléctrica group. My question is related to the sensors that use your system. What are the main benefits of this sensor in comparison with other sensors that maybe can use in the market? And also, if your platform is able to use another different sensors or it's focused in the use of the cameras that you are describing. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. First of all, we developed Pantera as imagine that the fire is a virus and the forest is a system. We position Pantera, our software, as a firewall. And we try to, by using all the foundations of our fire, such as prevention, detection, fast response, and analysis, we bring the same mindset as a firewall. So our sensors, considering our sensor and comparing to satellites, cameras usually detect wildfires, and the protocols of action take 3 minutes. Satellites are something like they're not as, you can vary and you can have a detection over 20 minutes, over an hour, or even over a day. So once you're detecting with the cameras, we use AI as an algorithm that we have developed. It's a real core of our solution, but it won't work alone. You gotta have a fire management as a platform because every step of the firefighting is so important. I can detect, but if I don't have a brigade that is ready to act, it won't do nothing. I can prevent, but if I can't detect, it's the same. So it's connected steps. So I don't know if I answered your question, but I
think you did. I love it how passionate you are about this. That's the kind of stuff we like it. And we want to thank you for being connected today with us. So big applause for Osmar. Muito obrigado, my friend. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and we're flying virtual to Lithuania, to the Baltics, to talk about something similar I talked before, about how you create energy with vibration. Don't be dirty, okay? So to talk about energy creation through vibration, dancing, piezoelectric, all kind of vibration, please welcome our next speaker, CEO of Piezo, Donat Ponomariov. There we go. Big applause, come on.
Hello, my name is Donat. I represent startup Viezo. We're based in Vilnius in Lithuania, and we're developing vibration energy harvesting technology. So currently, almost all of the wireless sensors installed in the industry are powered within the batteries, which last on average 5 years there. So after those 5 years of sensors operation, the battery dies and it has to be replaced by a human being. It is calculated that changing just one sensor's battery costs approximately 150 euro, where the major cost is the human labor, and this process repeats every 5 years. So how do we tackle that? We do a source of renewable energy which can make the sensor solution in the industry as a fit and forget, therefore saving massive costs over time and creating significant value. And right there you can see a very brief GIF showing the design of our developed construction vibrating live on one of the applications. Now look at this chart. Let's say the sensor with the integrated battery costs 100 euro, then the sensor with the vibration energy harvester would cost approximately 150 euro, as we're about to price it at approximately 50 euro level. So in 15 years, there will be 2 battery changes, which will end up costing approximately 400 euros in total, while energy harvester backed sensor will have its cost exactly at the same level during the whole time. The real beauty of what we do is that yet and still we are the first and the only ones in the world commercializing the vibration energy harvesting based on the piezoelectric polymer technology, and the international PCT patent for our made efficient design structure is filed and pending. The main markets we're tackling are smart oil and gas, smart mining, and smart railway, valued at 7.4, 9.2, and 50 billion US dollars last year respectively, where railway industry is a major focus of ours, as every single railway operator in Europe is about to invest billions of euros into modernization and digitalization of their railway industry, of their processes, and we align perfectly with those digitalization goals. So more than 30 companies have already purchased our development kits, including several big names like Honda, Alstom, Siemens, and we're undergo several POC projects with major corporates in Europe, to which we develop and individual solutions which shall lead into serious supply contracts next year. So this is the team which have made it all happen, and we have just raised our seed round investment. Therefore, we look forward for a major growth in the upcoming 12 months. So if you have found this presentation interesting and you feel we might be useful to you in any way, you can find me on LinkedIn by scanning the code right there and send me a message. I'm looking forward to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Donat. I love that we now can flinch the QR code and actually everyone knows how to use this stuff now. Anyhow, do we have any questions, judges? Anyone ready for the questions? The ladies are not asking too many questions. Yeah, I'm looking at you guys. Come on, questions for Donat? Anyone? No questions? Do we have any questions online? I don't think so. Questions, someone? Oh, there we go, thank you. So if we have Donat online. There we go. Hello, Donat. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
How are you?
We already have a question for you. Please go ahead.
Hello, Marcos Sosa de Sacir Green. Thank you for the presentation. And I see in the presentation that you charge the battery with a movement. So the vibration. How reliable is that movement? Because the life of the battery should be like, as you say, like 2, 3, 4 years. But the problem is like some mechanical movement. I'm not so sure if you have tested about that. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, of course. So the main part of the equation on how reliable this technology can be in the industry is obviously the size of the vibration, like how big are the vibrations and how continuous are those. Therefore, we're seeking and looking for various and testing various applications in the industry, and this is why we're our main focus right now is the railway industry, where the vibrations are huge and they're virtually continuous. So this can make our technology reliable in supplying power for the sensors, and we're obviously looking for further applications as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Donat. I hope that we finally can get a plug in every seat in every train. That will be fantastic. Donat, thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for joining us. Big applause for Donat.
Thank you.
Come on, guys, stronger. We can do this. We're nearly there. Just the first day. Anyhow, so to finalize this block on energy startups and sustainability, we have our last speaker, which has been very prudently been sitting there for a very long time, and he's getting more and more nervous, I believe. Or are you okay now? So. Well, so he's coming all the way from Spain, and we're going to be talking about it's not just enough to find new ways of making energy, is we need to make them efficiently. How do you produce energy? How do you produce fuel? How do you produce new materials efficiently? And to talk precisely about efficient solutions in the biomethane production, please welcome our next speaker, José Manuel Estrada, co-founder of Trovan Technology.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm José Estrada, and today we are going to talk about biogas and biomethane. So what if we told you that we could substitute 30% of the global natural gas demand by an alternative which is carbon neutral? That sounds good, right? Well, that's not fantasy. That's the potential of biomethane. We could substitute natural gas with this alternative, which is chemically identical and which is already generating a €2 billion market per year, and it is expected to continue growing. Essentially, any organic waste can be turned to biogas using anaerobic digestion. And then it can be cleaned and upgraded to biomethane. Biomethane can be directly injected into the natural gas grid or used as a vehicle fuel or even as a source for green hydrogen. So why aren't we making the most of this potential? Well, one of the reasons is that biogas cleaning and upgrading is expensive and complex, and it's not feasible to do it at small scales. It's only happening at large facilities. So what happens at a small wastewater treatment plant or in a farm dealing with manure? There's no option there. Well, that was the case until now, because we are introducing NEEDUP, the simple and efficient solution for biogas upgrading at small scale. Our protected solution is supported by biological processes which make us much more efficient, reducing the operating cost dramatically versus competitors. Our solution is ready to work with any biogas, and it generates no additional waste, which makes it perfect to make biomethane possible where it was not feasible before. At the moment, we are testing our prototype in real environments, and we are expecting to launch our first demo plant in 2022. Our business model is really simple. We will generate revenue from every plant we sell, but we also want to innovate from the business model perspective, and we are exploring other alternatives, such as pay-per-use or renting, removing barriers from our final end users. We've put together a great team of 5 fully dedicated innovators since we started our company in 2018, and we think we are very well equipped to make this innovation a reality. At the moment, we are looking for a 500K investment, which will take us in a 2-year roadmap covering our next development stages, including our first demo plant, market launch in 2022, and team growth with some key members in the commercial and financial areas. We already have some of the best partners in the energy and the environmental sector, and would love to have more. So come speak to us. That's all from me for now. I'll be very happy to take questions.
Hey, boom! That was fantastic. Very good.
Thank you.
He was shaking, but he did very good pitch. Congratulations. Judges, do we have questions? Come on, last questions for our startups. Roberto. Venga, your turn. We have, see, I got you Repsol to answer.
Hi, thank you very much for your clear presentation.
Thank you.
You anticipate something about this in your pitch, but what are the next steps you are planning for scaling up your technology? What is the way in which you are trying to go to the market to approach the client in the most precision way? I mean, are you trying to making pilots apart from that you say at this moment, or are you doing some kind of partnership? Let me know about your strategy, please.
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. At the moment, we are testing our first prototype in partnership with FACSA, which is a company in the wastewater treatment sector. And for next year, we have committed the installation of the first demo plant by a customer, which is actually going to acquire it from us, which is a great step forward. That will be a first demo industrial facility, and we are planning to use that as a demonstration for our next clients. And we believe that will help us very much to get traction and get to full-scale facilities at some point during next year. So that's basically it. We already have some key partnerships for our first industrial plants, and we want to keep it going from there.
Okay,
thank you.
Perfect. Well, that's a guy you need to talk to. He has
Definitely.
contacts. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you. Big applause, please,
Thank
for
you.
Jose Manuel. Another big applause. Thank you very much, judges, for being here. Thank you very much, audience, for being here. Applause for both of you. Thank you for joining us.